February 12, 1943. Henderson Field, Guadalcanal. The air hangs thick with humidity and the sharp tang of aviation fuel. Dawn light spills over the crushed coral runway, painting long shadows behind 24 sleek, dark blue fighters lined up like predators ready to pounce. Major John L. Smith glances at his watch, 0600 hours sharp. In exactly 2 hours, these Vought F4U Corsairs from Marine Fighter Squadron VMF 124 will roar into their inaugural combat mission over the Pacific. This isn't some gentle shakedown cruise or a lazy patrol over empty ocean. No, sir. This is a high-stakes escort run, plunging 230 miles into Japanese-held skies to cover a PBY Catalina on a daring rescue op at Vela La Vela. What nobody in the cockpit realizes yet is that this one squadron's debut is about to ignite the deadliest fighter onslaught the Solomon Islands have ever seen. For more than a year, the Imperial Japanese Navy has owned these tropical skies. Their Mitsubishi A6M0s, those sleek, deadly legends, have danced untouched through the clouds, outmaneuvering, outclimbing, and outgunning everything the Allies threw at them. That unchallenged reign? It's about to shatter like glass under a sledgehammer. The Pacific War has hammered home one ironclad truth to every American grunt, sailor, and fly boy: dominate the air, and you dictate the ground game. Surrender the skies, and you're done, finished before the first bullet flies. Since that infamous morning at Pearl Harbor, Japanese aviators have proven their edge in spades. Their pilots, battle-hardened in the brutal skies over China, bring years of real-world kills. Their tactics? Perfected. Their tech? Cutting edge for the era. A Zero can twist and turn inside any American crate, climb like a homesick angel, and loiter over targets longer than anyone thought possible. Stationed at the sprawling fortress of Rabaul, the Japanese Navy's elite air groups, the Tainan, the 251st, the 204th, represent the pinnacle of naval aviation. 700 planes. Pilots with hundreds of combat hours etched into their logbooks. Men like Lieutenant Commander Saburo Sakai, already sitting on more than 60 confirmed victories, or Warrant Officer Hiroyoshi Nishizawa, the devil himself, destined to rack up over 80 kills before the Reaper claims him. These aren't just flyers. They're sky artists, painting death with vapor trails, turning the Solomons into their personal gallery of destruction. Lieutenant Junichi Sasai, commanding the Tainan Air Group, has refined the Zero's playbook to a science. Loose, flexible formations that let each pilot improvise while covering his buddies. They lure enemies into low-speed knife fights, where the Zero's insane agility lets them slip behind a foe's tail and stay there until the cockpit fills with fire. It's poetry in motion, and it's been lethal. Now picture those F4U Corsairs crouched on Henderson's dusty strip, wings bent like a gull in flight, looking every bit the caged killers they are. That inverted gull design isn't just for show. It's engineered to clear the ground for the massive 13-foot 4-inch Hamilton standard propeller spun by a Pratt & Whitney R2800 double Wasp engine churning out a monstrous 2,000 horsepower. Top speed? Over 400 miles per hour in a dive that'll make your eyes water. Armament? 6 Browning M2.50 caliber machine guns, 3 in each wing, belting out 750 rounds per minute apiece. That's 2,350 rounds total, 400 for the inner guns, 375 for the outers. One 2-second burst can saw a Zero clean in half. But specs only tell half the tale. The Corsair was born with a bad reputation. The Navy initially deemed it too wild for carrier decks. That long snout blocks the pilot's view on approach. The left wing stalls first, snapping into vicious rolls at low speeds. The tailwheel strut bounces like a pogo stick, flinging the plane skyward at the worst moment. The brass called it an enemy eliminator, too dangerous for their own guys. But those same flaws forge its battlefield supremacy. The raw power that makes it a beast to land gives it blistering acceleration, and climb rates no Zero can match. The heavy-duty frame that adds weight also lets it shrug off hits that would shred lighter foes. It's a flying tank with the soul of a fighter. Take First Lieutenant Kenneth A. Walsh, call sign Ken, from VMF 124. He's clocked just 25 hours in the Corsair before shipping out to this mosquito-infested hellhole. A Brooklyn-born scrapper who enlisted in the Marines at 17 back in '33, Walsh started as a grease monkey aircraft mechanic before earning his wings the hard way. No silver spoon Annapolis polish here. He knows every bolt, every hydraulic line, every quirk of the double wasp like it's his own heartbeat. To him, the Corsair isn't machinery. It's 14,000 pounds of barely contained fury. Tame its temper, and you wield the scythe of death itself. The pilots of VMF 124 are America in microcosm. Iowa farm kids who never smelled salt water until boot camp. College boys trading slide rules for stick and throttle. Grease-stained mechanics and small-town clerks who found they had a knack for defying gravity. Most are 20-somethings with zero combat time. They drilled hard at Camp Kearney outside San Diego, but nothing simulates the real deal. Veteran Japanese aces who've been gutting Americans since December '41. Across the Solomon Sea, Rabaul buzzes like a hornet's nest. 5 airfields, Guadalcanal, Lacunay, Rapulpo, Tobera, Caravat, sprawl across the landscape. Simpson Harbor cradles cruisers and destroyers under a steel umbrella. Thousands of ground crews swarm, wrench-turners, bomb-loaders, radio techs, medics. It's the unbreakable Gibraltar of the South Pacific, ringed by flak batteries and swarms of Zeros. Lieutenant Tetsuo Iwai of the 204th Air Group pores over morning recon photos. American air strength on Guadalcanal? Maybe 40 to 50 fighters, mostly worn-out P-40 Warhawks and squat F4F Wildcats. Child's play for the Zero. The 204th just rotated in to spell the battered Tainan Group, now redesignated the 251st. Many pilots are China veterans, viewing Yankees as undisciplined amateurs lacking Bushido spirit. But those photos reveal something odd. 24 big birds with bent wings, longer than Wildcats, huskier than P-40s. Naval Intel has no file on them. Probably another rushed American kludge, overarmed and overarmored to mask green pilots. The Brewster Buffalo flopped. The Bell P-39 flopped. This new toy? Same story? The mission kicks off at 0800. 12 Corsairs thunder down Henderson's coral strip, clawing for altitude to escort that lumbering PBY Catalina to Sandfly Bay, Vela La Vela. Objective: snatch 2 downed American aviators while the flying boat wallows at 2,000 feet. Top cover at 18,000. No enemy expected. A milk run to break in the new kids. Major Smith leads, eyes sweeping the horizon. He's drilled it into them. Hold formation, guard your wingmen, never, ever, dogfight a Zero down low. Play the Corsair's game, speed, dive, firepower. Boom and zoom. Hit hard, climb out, reset. 20 minutes out, Lieutenant Walsh spots trouble. 9 Zeros climbing hard from the southeast, angling to pounce on the Catalina. Likely launched from Bougainville's forward strips at Bin or Ball Ale. Radio crackles. Bandits, 8 o'clock low, climbing fast. 12 rookies in an unproven fighter versus 9 blooded samurai in the war's most feared bird. Walsh doesn't hesitate. He rolls inverted, hauls into a split S, and dives. The Corsair responds like a falcon stooping on prey. Needle climbs past 350, 400, 425. Controls firm up but hold. No Zero can chase this dive. Their wings would rip clean off. Walsh lines up the trailing Zero, waits till the wingspan fills his Revy gun sight, and squeezes. 6.50 caliber streams of armor-piercing incendiary death converge at 900 feet. The API rounds punch through unarmored fuel tanks. The Zero doesn't explode, it disintegrates. Wings shear, engine tears free, fuselage tumbles like confetti. The pilot never gets a hand on his canopy. Walsh yanks back, G-forces slamming him into the seat, chandelles skyward. 1 pass, 1 kill? The rest of VMF 124 follows suit, dive, blast, zoom. 4 minutes. 3 Zeros spiral into the drink in flaming pieces. Not a single Corsair scratched. The Japanese formation, likely the 582nd Air Group fresh at Rabaul, breaks and runs north, pedals to the metal. They've just stared into the future, and it's whistling death. That night in Rabaul's ops hut, the debrief is grim. Survivors describe a new American fighter, blinding speed, dive like a meteor, guns that shred aircraft midair. Armor laughs at 7.7 mm Ps. Request urgent intel on type and counters. It's the first crack in the dam. Within days, Japanese pilots dubbed the Corsair, whistling death, that eerie banshee wail from air rushing through wing-root oil coolers in a dive. Ground pounders on Japanese garrisons learned to dread it. Hear that whistle? Kiss your ass goodbye. The ripple effect is immediate. Bomber raids on Guadalcanal, once guarded by a dozen Zeros, now demand 20, 30 escorts, and still bleed. The Corsair dictates engagement terms. Japanese fighters scramble to defend bombers, only to get picked apart by hit-and-run slashes they can't counter. By March, every Marine fighter squadron in the Solomons, VMF 121, 122, 123, 213, 214, 215, 221, 222, transitions to Corsairs. 8 squadrons, bent wings everywhere. The switch isn't painless. 7 birds lost in the first month to accidents, the long nose, the torque, the bounce. Pilots learn curved approaches, straightening only at the flare. Master it, and you own the sky. The tactical revolution is total. No more turning scrapes where Zeros shone. Boom and zoom becomes gospel. Dive from altitude, unleash hell, climb away before they blink. Corsairs dive at speeds that would fold Zero wings like paper. They soak damage that downs 3 Zeros. They dictate every fight. The Japanese scramble to adapt. New doctrines, massed attacks from multiple vectors, force Corsairs low and slow, snipe at oil coolers or canopy rails. Useless. Americans counter with the thatch weave, mutual defensive lace that guarantees backup. When Zeros climb hard to exploit low-speed advantages, Corsairs simply refuse below 250 knots. April 1, 1943. Lieutenant Walsh leads 4 Corsairs on a sweep over the Russell Islands. Crystal morning, scattered cumulus at 10,000. 30 Zeros scramble from Munda to intercept. Old war? Suicide. New war? Turkey shoot. Walsh's division holds 20,000 feet, then stoops. Vertical fight. Corsairs dive, fire, zoom climb. Zeros hang on props, bleeding energy, sitting ducks for the next diver. Walsh bags 3 in 7 minutes, dive, burst, climb, repeat. Wingman 2nd Lieutenant Archie Donahue drops 2. 4 Corsairs claim 11 kills, land with 6 bullet holes total. Zeros popguns bounce off Corsair armor. Their 20mm cannons need sustained hits, good luck surviving long enough to aim. Japanese desperation mounts. Coast watchers report veteran instructors yanked from Rabaul to train rookies back home. But the meat grinder chews faster than Japan can feed it. The pre-war cadre, years in the making, bleeds out over coral reefs. May 13, 1943. Ken Walsh becomes the first Corsair ace, 5 confirmed. His 5th, a melee over the Russells. Alone against 3 Zeros, he refuses to run. 3 passes, 3 kills. The last Zero tries a low-altitude turn fight. Walsh goes vertical, stalls the Jap, rolls, dives, halves the enemy with a 3-second burst. 2 weeks later, Walsh's tally hits 10. From 25 hours in type to double ace in 90 days. The machine elevates the man masters the machine. But Walsh is just the harbinger. Marine pilots across the theater awaken to the Corsair's potential. Names etch into legend: First Lieutenant Robert M. Hansen, VMF 215, 25 kills in 6 months, 5 in 1 mission on January 14, 1944, methodically plucking Zeros off a bomber formation like apples. Squadron-level dominance is even more lopsided. Corsair's 1,000-mile range with drop tanks lets them shepherd bombers to Rabaul and back. No more naked bombers for Japanese interceptors to feast on. June 16, 1943, 100-plus Japanese aircraft hit Guadalcanal shipping. 32 Corsairs from 4 squadrons intercept. Result? 77 Japanese planes down, 6 Corsairs lost, 13:1. New Zero variants, A6M5 with clipped wings, A6M3 with beefier guns, don't matter. They're outclassed. Lieutenant Commander Tetsuzo Iwamoto, 30 Victory Ace, survives and reports. They strike like hawks from the sun, fire sledgehammer guns, vanish into altitude. Our Zero is obsolete. We are prey. The psychological hammer falls harder than the tactical one. Japanese pilots, once fearless, flinch at the whistle. Ground crews log phantom illnesses when Corsair-escorted raids loom. The myth of invincibility? Dust. Summer 43, Corsairs evolve into fighter bombers. Centerline rack for a 1,000-pounder. Dive bomb accuracy, then fight home. Japanese bunkers that laughed at strafing now crater under Corsair bombs. Major Gregory, Pappy, Boyington's VMF 214, the Black Sheep, embodied the revolution. Boyington, ex-Flying Tiger ace, takes cast-offs, misfits, orphans, and forges them into the deadliest squadron in theater. 84 combat days, 97 Japanese aircraft destroyed, 12 Corsairs lost, 8:1. Plus 21 ships, countless barges, shore installs. September 16, 1943, 24 Black Sheep sweep Balliol Airfield. 50 Zeros rise. Boyington's Gospel, stay high, stay fast, never predictable. Three-dimensional carnage. Black Sheep down 20 Zeros, 0 losses. Pappy bags 5, ace in a day. Tech Edge compounds. Our 2800 supercharger dominates thin air above 10,000. Robust airframe laughs at 20 mm. 6.50s put 80 rounds per second on target. API rounds that ignite unarmored tanks, shred control surfaces. Japanese report impacts like being clubbed by giants. America's industrial juggernaut feeds the beast. Japan graduates pilots with 60 hours total. America delivers 300. Including 50 in type. Corsair forgives errors fatal in a Zero, speed to disengage, armor to survive mistakes. Lieutenant Commander Minoru Agenda, Pearl Harbor Planner, visits Rabaul August 43. The Corsair has obsolete our doctrine. We need everything new. We have no time. They kill faster than we adapt. Tokyo ignores him. Attrition math is merciless. Japan starts Solomons with 400 elite pilots. By August, 300 gone. Replacements? Kids. American pilot quality climbs. Veterans mentor newbies. Tactics refine in real time. Carrier qualms? Solved. Brits pioneer curved approaches, modified struts. By late 44, Corsairs swarm fleet carriers. Navy's VF-17 Jolly Rogers, land-based early, pioneer fighter-bomber doctrine, drop gear as dive breaks, plaster targets, egress fighting. November 11th, Rabaul raid, 18 kills, bombs on target, 5 more on exit. 76 days, 152 Japanese planes down, 2 per day. Never lose a bomber they escort. Individual stars shine. Lieutenant Ira, Ike Kepford, VF-17, point-blank bursts, 17 kills. 4 in minutes, under 100 rounds each. Japanese counters fizzle. A 6M5 adds armor, speed, gains weight, loses agility. Kawanishi N1K2J Shurden too late, too few. Ace Naoshi Kano bags 2 with underside climbs, 3rd try, Bob Hansen ends him. Rabaul's isolation seals the deal. November 43, daily Corsair escorted pounding. Airfields cratered, harbor graveyard, 100,000 troops marooned. Achieved via air power, no bloody invasion. January 44, Corsairs own daylight. Japanese fly night or weather. Surviving aces pulled for homeland defense. Replacements? Cannon fodder. Lieutenant Sadamu Kamachi, last aces standing, diaries. 12 Zeros versus 8 Corsairs. 9 hours burn in minutes. I watch. 1 more Zero changes nothing. Air war lost. We're ghosts. Strategic doors swing wide. Unmolested bombing. Ground advances under constant CAP. Supply lines secure under 1,000-mile umbrellas. Ken Walsh's Medal of Honor actions, August 15th and 30th, 1943, epitomize. August 15th, 6:1 odds saves shipping, 3 kills despite 50-plus hits, armor saves him. August 30th, engine quits, lands Munda, grabs spare Corsair, rejoins, solos 50 zeros over Kahili, bags 4 before shot down. Raft rescue. Score ends 21. Variants evolve fast. F4U1A bubble canopy. F4U1C for 20mm cannons, wing-ripping bursts. F4U1D dual 1,000-pound bombs or HVR rockets. Issues fixed in months, CO leaks, radio, struts. February 44, 1 year in. Marine/Navy Corsairs, 600-plus Japanese planes down, under 80 lost to enemy, 11:1. Not combat. Annihilation. Captain Genda's final report. Corsair obsoletes 20 years training. Americans rewrote rules. We die honorably. Human toll, 2,000 Japanese naval aviators lost in Solomons, most to Corsairs. Irreplaceable. Pre-war, 3 years per pilot. 44 6 months. American losses sustainable. Vought spits 300 Corsairs monthly. Psych war. Tokyo Rose warns of whistling death. Hollow. Japanese no, see bent wings, run, or die. Pappy Boyington's finale, January 3rd, 44, 26th and 27th kills over Rabaul, then downed. Captured, survives camps. Black Sheep keep killing, 94 more without him. Plane pilot. Strategic dominoes. Yamamoto's April 43 P-38 ambush enabled by Corsair suppression. Rabaul neutralized Sand's invasion. Island hopping accelerates. Every beach under Corsair umbrella. Philippines 44. Corsairs from Essex-class decks seal Leyte Gulf. Okinawa. Corsairs shred kamikazes. Speed intercepts. Firepower ensures total destruction. Final tally. 2,140 Japanese aircraft downed in air combat. 15,621 tons bombs, 70% of all USN/USMC fighter ordnance. 400-plus ships sunk/damaged. Longest production run, 12,571 built to 1953. Post-war, Korea, 80% close support, Lieutenant Guy Bordelon 5 kills night fighting. French Indochina, Soccer War 69, last piston ace. Admiral's verdicts, McCain Sr. Obliterated Japanese air power in 18 months. Nimitz, key to island hopping. Hirohito's memoir. Industrial might, atomic bomb, Corsair, made defeat inevitable. Sakai. Zero rapier, Corsair broadsword. They had 10 to our 1, and didn't need samurai skill. September 45. Marine Corsairs overfly Tokyo Bay occupation. Bent shadows cross water where zeros once ruled. Samurai skies ended. American air supremacy, forged in Solomel fire, powered by double wasp thunder, dawned. Last Japanese ace Kenyoshi Muto. You didn't fight Corsairs. You survived, if lucky if fast. Most weren't. Bent-wing bird was death. Death always wins. Pacific floor, 1 Corsair wreck per 11 zeros. Gun camera reels, 0 fill sight, .50s sparkle, pieces fly, tumble. Unseen, sons, brothers lost. Corsair didn't win a war. It redefined air war, technology, industry, training converging into systematic supremacy. Warrior ace era closed. Engineer dominance opened.